it's me, Zipster. Well, in a couple, yeah, like I'm wearing a watch. In a couple of minutes, it's gonna be a year that I've been here on YouTube. What a freaking year it's been. But I'm not gonna go into all that. You already know all the details. But man, I met the most amazing people. I've been to the most amazing places. And it's all because of YouTube. How cool is that? Anyway, so, yeah, like I promised, I'll tell you an embarrassing story. But first, I want to tell you something. Okay. Thursday night, I think it was, I got an email from Tube Granny. It was like, hey, are your subscriptions going down, like, substantially? I'm like, no. He's like, well, there's some weird bug going on. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, Tube Granny, you're so crazy. Then I wake up the next morning, and I lost, like, almost 300 subscribers. Boom, off my page. Because I was just about ready to hit 12,000. I thought, how cool. The 12th of August is my anniversary. I get 12,000 subscribers on the same day, and it's my 1-year anniversary. Great. But yeah, that ain't going to happen now, because there's some kind of, I don't know what it is, but I lost a whole bunch of subscribers, and I know it wasn't because I was offending them, even though, you know, I do try sometimes. But anyway, yes, so it's still great. I'm happy to be here. I can't wait for the next year, and the year after that, and, well, who knows how long it's going to last. So anyway, I figured for my special anniversary, I would have a little fireside chat, like, what was his name, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, or something like that, right? So, yeah. But before it was so cold, I was wearing like a hoodie and stuff, and now I lit this fire, and now I'm like dying because it's pretty out of control. Anyway, yeah, so let me get this over with before I sweat myself to death. Okay, let me take you back. I'm going to say the year was somewhere in the mid-90s. Tim and I had just kind of met, okay? I'm going to try to set this up right because it's complicated. Anyway, yeah, I was living on the 3rd floor of this apartment building, and there were just 2 apartments up there, and then a roof that went out off the back that we actually used to go out and sun on the roof and stuff, and a big old fire escape. You know how it is in the big cities. Whatever. So the apartment next door to me on the 3rd floor became vacant. And I said to Tim, he couldn't afford his apartment anymore because his roommate left, blah, blah, blah. I said, why don't you rent the apartment next door? Because I wasn't really ready to live with him yet, because I had only known him for like 8 months or something. And I don't like to rush into shit like that. So he rented the apartment next door. So what we would do is, like, we would have dinner and stuff in my apartment. Then we'd just go across the hall and, like, sleep in his apartment. You know, blah, blah, blah. So, one night, oh, man, you know, I sleep in the nude. I know you don't want to think about it, but it's important to the story. So one night I went up to go to the bathroom in his apartment. And for some reason I was, like, kind of out of it. And I, like, walked right out his front door and closed it behind me. And then I went to try to get in my door. Of course, it was locked. I tried to get him back in his door. Of course, it was locked. I'm standing in the hallway of this apartment building completely naked. I'm like, oh, perfect. So this is right around Christmas time, right after Christmas time, actually, because we had just gotten rid of our tree and stuff. And there's like, oh, maybe 4 inches of snow outside. So I'm banging on his apartment door, and he slept like a dead person. Nah, that's not even funny. Yeah, but I mean, he slept like a log, this guy, and I'm like, he is never going to wake up, he's never going to wake up. I'm banging on the door, and it's cold as hell in the hallway. So finally, I'm like, I have got to go outside on the roof and bang on his actual bedroom window. It's like, oh, great, I got no shoes, there's snow out there, whatever. You know, you got to do what you got to do. So I went out the fire escape, crawl over the roof, and I'm standing there banging on his window. And meanwhile, now it's like morning already, but we didn't go to bed till really late at night. And it's like, you know, 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, whatever. So I'm like banging on his bedroom window and nothing's happening. I mean, he is not budging. And so in frustration, I just kind of like, ugh. I turn around, and I completely forgot that right behind us, like off of his bedroom window, is an elementary school. I turn around, and there must have been 200 kids on 3 floors, all smashed up against the windows, looking at the naked man banging on somebody's window. I'm like, oh my God. So I look around, and there's nothing out there. It's just snow on a roof. And then finally I see something to cover myself. It's those red and green metal, you know what I'm talking about, the Christmas tree stands. So I picked it up, and I quick covered my private area with the Christmas tree stand. And oh my God, this thing was so freezing, but what am I going to do? You know, and I'm like, ah. So, okay, I'm standing there with a Christmas tree stand held up against myself. And then it's like, I got to get back in the building, and you know, because I can't be standing out here. So I went to turn, and it's like, then I had to quick move it to cover my ass so they couldn't see my crack, because, you know, I don't know, people find the crack just as offensive as the front. Anyway, so I flew back into fire escape, and I wound up sleeping, sleep until he finally woke up. I'm sleeping in the hallway naked in the